also feel the media is playing a big role in creating those expectations. When there was no TV, when there was not such a kind of social media where people are very empty from inside, but they're trying to show on social media how happy they are, and which is maybe the viewers are taking the wrong impression from there, that only by giving something or taking something is what is the real expression of love. I see these diamond companies, when you can't speak, diamond speaks. I don't know from where that came. And can you believe what kind of impression it is creating in people's mind? That means this time you're expecting a diamond necklace, otherwise you don't love. So this is kind of, I think, an artificial emotions that has been created, which does not exist at the reality level, but it's just a marketing tool. And the people who are listening or looking at this are falling into that trap. The diamond companies are making money out of it, but the ground level, the relationships are not as healthy through these marketing media. Before this podcast, I was doing some research in finding out what are those key ingredients at the fundamental level of any relationships that hold a relationship much more healthier, stronger, and in the long run. So I came across this triangle which comprises of trust, respect, and communication. And I was reflecting back into my own life or life around us. I could somewhat a lot to believe into that fundamentals, and it exists no matter what type of relationship you have around you. These are the key ingredients, whether you say it or you don't say it, but it's always playing a role every moment of your interaction. What are your take on this?
I totally agree with you. You know, what the needs of each one of us as a human beings is to feel safe and to feel accepted and appreciated. And when that happens, then we start building trust. Because trust doesn't happen systematically in a relationship. We need to earn it. And to earn it, we need to demonstrate on a daily basis, or however the relationship is. And we're not talking here only about the romantic one. For a friendship, for example, which is a very precious human relationship, friendship. We need to earn the trust of the other person. There are things that attract us, usually in the other person, like what we like about them, how we feel safe and appreciated and respected, and we can communicate clearly. But then trust is an extremely important component that we need to demonstrate and nurture. There is a way of doing it, which is investing in the emotional bank account of the other person, which means as long as we have a relationship, I will demonstrate to my partner or my friend or my husband or my kids that I love them, that I care about them, and we do it differently with whatever means we have. It could be a diamond if we are a billionaire, or it could be a meal prepared with love, or it could be picking the phone and asking, or maybe preparing a cup of tea for someone after work, for our loved one. It can be done in small ways and more significant ways, but all of them are significant. I mean, even a cup of tea or a glass of water is still a gesture which is very much appreciated.
Definitely. I think it's a lot to focus when we're looking at those ingredients. And this is, as we said, this is a daily task that we do. It's time for us to reflect back. Does these three ingredients really exist in our relationship? Now, you as a relationship coach, I'm sure you must be dealing with different types of challenges that the couples or the people in relationship bring in front of you. In the case when there's a conflict, conflicts are various types. You may be having daily fights, small fights, and you overcome them overnight. There may be fight or conflicts that exist for a longer period of time that may end up creating distance. What are some of the conflicts that are brought to you by such people, and what technique and strategies do you use to resolve them?
In those extreme cases, the person who approaches me, one of the partners or sometimes both, they are highly charge emotionally. And I would always advise to not let it congeal in a way when it becomes so complicated. Like tackle the whatever doesn't work, or what if the relationship is facing some kind of difficulties as early as possible, as early as even starting a relationship. You know, from the very first date, starting to notice if the person is the right person for them. But when it comes to those complicated situations, I would always advise them to, even though as a coach, I don't really advise, I invite them to pause and then work on themselves separately, with the help, of course, either therapy if it's required, coaching, which is like, for example, using NLP tools to to release past negative emotions, release any kind of traumas, fear, all kind of emotional blockages that, and beliefs as well, that might be compromising how they deal with the relationship. It's only when we are in the most resourceful that we can take the best decisions in our lives. So I always invite them to please take time, release your emotional charge, work on yourself, understand what is coming from within you, until they become resourceful emotionally, where they are calm, they can think properly, they have a clear mind. And then I bring the partners again, and then we work on the relationship. Because if they are unresourceful, they are triggered by anything, any word, any movement, any body language. They would be triggered, and we cannot find solutions like that. And of course, the solutions are not they're not done by or given by the coach. They need to come up with a strategy and solutions that work for both of them. Maybe initially they didn't have a clear communication about what is the role of each one of them, how do they want to work together. So that will give them a second chance where, hey, now you are more resourceful, you're able to think properly, re-establish, forget what happened before, as much, put it on the side, turn a new page. Now you are more resourceful, you can take better decisions. How do you want your relationship to go forward? How do you want to be loved? How do you want to communicate? How do you want your daily life to look like? How do you want your parenting styles, if they have kids? How do you want your parenting styles to be? And then we start on clear, solid foundation. And they have all the chances to create something beautiful. If they
Amazing.
want.
I truly believe, as you said, you don't give any strategies for them. It's for an individual to come out with their workable solutions within their limits of strengths and weaknesses and the resources available, which they will be able to apply more confidently because they have it within them rather than applying and adapting from copy pasting. I think what comes from within you is more resourceful and more impactful. I truly believe. So I would like to know from you, Leila, is that I've heard a lot about relationship counselor or marriage counselors, which is more common a term that is known to the society when they should be going to those experts. Now, as a relationship coach, what would you tell someone? When should someone decide to go to a relationship coach? And how is it different than counseling?
Counselors do a great job at least bringing the couple to sit, reflect, and start a conversation with someone who is there to guide them into what can work for them and what can't. And this is what the counselor does, helping the couple find a strategy that works for them. I'm not really sure how it works exactly, but I know by definition that a counselor is someone that give advices, like counsels, is there as in between the two parties and guiding them into and advising them sometimes, which coaches don't do. As coaches, we are very strong in believing, and it's not only believing, it's with time it becomes a knowing, it becomes, we are very confident about it, that each human being is very resourceful, or can be very resourceful and find the best solutions that work for them, because no one knows their background as they do. No one knows themselves, them as they know themselves. No one knows their values as they know themselves. So it's very important to bring the person to their most resourceful state and trust that they will find the best solution for themselves. Now, who comes to a coach usually is a person that has that kind of awareness, where they know there is something within me that is triggering me, triggering me, or maybe causing me to fall into these patterns. I've tried many times. I keep doing the same. I keep having the same behavior. I'm triggered by the same things. I'm not going anywhere. And I came to a plateau in my life, and I don't like that. Then we say, I know that there is better out there for me. How can I reach it? And this is where the coach comes handy. We go to a coach for us to find what is the next step for me. How can I reach that step, whatever it is, either to better my relationship, to better myself, to be more productive, to be a better parent. What can I do better to go from that plateau into the next level of my life? And I need to do it with my own means, with me as a person, with what is within me, what I believe works for me. And if there is anything that is not working for me, because maybe I learned throughout my journey in life something that maybe was useful at that time, but now is creating results which I'm not happy with. You know, like at some point we might decide after having different kind of experiences where we lost trust in people, saying, I don't trust anyone. But then at some point when it might have helped us maybe when we were teenagers or young adults to be safe and stay away from people so that they cannot harm us. I don't trust anyone. It works at some point. But then when we become a couple and I live with someone, if I still have that belief within me that in the background is telling me, hey, I cannot really trust what this person is doing, or what this person is, my partner, my husband, or my wife, I'm not fully trusting them, that will create a lot of problems. This belief, which was helping me before, is not helping me anymore. It's creating a lot of doubts, a lot of uncertainties, a lot of feeling of unsafety. I need to do something about it. So when I go to a coach, there are different kind of coaching. Like, for example, this kind of deep mindset coaching does or gives this kind of tools and possibilities. And this is what I chose to do as a coach. See, when we need to go deep, we need to go deep. We need to go and change whatever is not helping the person, that the beliefs that are really impeding their progress. We go and we change a limiting belief. And I like always mentioning this because sometimes it makes people think. It takes 10 minutes to change a belief that has been maybe sabotaging what we've been doing in our lives. 10 minutes. So, I mean, it's worth investing that time and on ourselves to change whatever is not helping us in ourselves, in whatever we believe about ourselves or our life, and then move forward.